Welcome to Give Yourself Grace. I'm your host, Grace Perry, and I am so thrilled you're here. As a content creator and coach, I've built a six-figure business to help women step into their power and share their stories with the world. My mission is to empower you to embrace your unique journey and every season this life has to offer. If you crave entertainment, guidance, and tools to transform your reality, you have come to the right place. So come with me on this adventure and truly give yourself the grace that you deserve. Let's dive into the show. Has anyone told you how amazing you are? I'm here to remind you that you are incredible. You can do whatever it is you want in this life and be successful at it. And just a slight reminder that we are literally on a moving rock in outer space and the world is your oyster. Thank you again for tuning in to today's episode where we're diving into something very close to my heart: gratitude. And with that being said, I am so grateful that you are here. I'm Grace, your ultimate hype girl and host of this podcast, as you know, Give Yourself Grace. Today, I want to talk a little bit about gratitude. Let me take you back to a few months ago. I was actually at the airport with my stepdad, Tom, and we were on our way to Portugal. We went to visit the Azores. If you haven't been, I highly recommend that you check them out. They are gorgeous. We had such an amazing time, but before we left, we were grabbing some last minute snacks and Tom saw this book. I would never have seen this book. I wasn't paying attention. I was looking for snacks and he was like, "Grace, look at that book." And it was titled The 5 Graces of Life and Leadership. Now, I was instantly drawn to this book, not only because Tom pointed it out, but because of the name. Just to give you a little backstory, so Tom is my stepdad, but my mom and him actually were never married. He and my mom dated for about 10 years, starting when I was just 5 years old. And when they broke up, Tom wrote me the sweetest letter asking to still be a part of my life. Still have the letter, and we are still best friends to this day. And of course, I said yes. I am so grateful for the challenges and the modern family that has gifted me so many new relationships and connections into my life. I really wouldn't be the person I am today without this beautiful modern family, which is the farthest thing from perfect, but it's amazing nonetheless. And so for that, I am so incredibly grateful, and I wanted to just express my gratitude today because that is what this entire conversation is going to be about. And with that being said, so I was at the airport and I saw this book and I just knew I needed to have it, especially with the launch of this podcast. Of course, Give Yourself Grace. My name is Grace. And the real question is, how do we do that, right? How do we give ourselves more grace? How do we give love and support to others, but also to ourselves? And so the author of this book, his name is Gary Burnison. Shout out to Gary, our boy Gary. He is the author who breaks down the meaning behind each letter in the word grace. It literally felt like I was reading my own mission statement. Like, I've always loved my name, but I haven't really done much discovery into the actual meaning behind my name. Honestly, this podcast and naming it Give Yourself Grace has really brought me to dive deeper into my name. And so this book was just such a perfect fit. And basically the letters in grace each represent powerful human traits. G is for gratitude, R is for resilience, A is for aspiration, C is for courage, E is for empathy. And today I want to dive into the G in grace, which stands for gratitude. He writes that grace is the feeling and gift of goodwill. It lifts us up and carries us forward on the high road. Grace is a guiding light that makes us more human, encouraging us to be our best selves. And gratitude, that G in grace, elevates us with an attitude that lifts our hearts. One passage from this book that really hit me was, "An attitude of gratitude starts with 2 small but powerful words, thank you." It's a gift that goes both ways, and expressing gratitude remains one of the most powerful ways to change minds and win hearts. When we show gratitude, we're allowing ourselves to be vulnerable, which is the real strength of connecting with others. And with that being said, of course, thank you again for tuning in to this episode, my third episode of this podcast. I'm just so grateful that you're here, and I'm so grateful that you wanted to learn more about gratitude today. So, of course, most powerful form of gratitude is showing it. Gifting another person through love and support can be transformational and change lives. There's this concept of borrowed belief in entrepreneurship. And essentially what it means is when someone expresses their gratitude to you, right? Thanking you for love or support or whatever that might look like, oftentimes they show you what they believe about you. And so that could be in the form of celebrating you at work, or a fellow coworker, or a family member who supports you or is there with you through a difficult season, or a friend who compliments you and just allows you to see a different perspective about you. You're borrowing their belief in you for yourself until you can believe that about you. It's so important to find people who allow you to borrow that belief and show you and tell you how much you mean to them and how much you mean to this world. And that's why I started this episode by saying how incredible you are and how there's so much opportunity in this world, because you might not have that community telling you this, right? Borrow my belief in you. Borrow that until you feel it for yourself. And one way that you can really start to believe in yourself and practice that belief and that confidence and that love and support that you show to others, but you might not give to yourself, is through a practice of gratitude. It's a feeling of thankfulness and appreciation for what you have in life rather than what you want or think you need. Especially when it comes to social media, I'm sure you can relate to this. When we are on these platforms, we are constantly getting bombarded with messages and highlight reels of other people's lives. And this can really lead to depression and anxiety and comparison. And you're like in this loop of comparison. Oftentimes feeling like you need more to feel more happy or more successful. Or if I move here, I'll feel happy. Or if I have this relationship, I'll feel happy. Oftentimes that is the biggest misconception about life, because ultimately you are going to feel happy internally when you practice more gratitude. I firmly believe that. It's not about what you want or think you need. It's about what you already have and being happy in this present moment for all that you already have. I'm a firm believer that when you practice more gratitude, the universe or God or whatever you believe in provides. When I started to practice more gratitude and really focus on it, the universe provided tenfold, especially in my business. Gratitude is an energy that people feel when they interact with you. It is a really real and authentic vulnerability that comes with practicing. People just magnetize too. They can feel your sense of authenticity when you're expressing gratitude for someone. And honestly, life is too freaking short to not have gratitude and to not tell the people that we love, that we support and love them and see them where they are and for who they are. And so when you practice gratitude, it's really to take a moment to notice and appreciate what you have. That's when everything changes. Now, while I was creating this podcast and writing out some notes, I had to find some research. I'm a super nerd. Where are my super nerds at? I'm a little geek and I love it. And, I wanted to find some studies because, of course, gratitude has changed my life and I've felt these things, but I have never really looked into the research that actually backs up that gratitude can change our brain chemistry. And so there have been multiple studies that show a positive correlation between practicing gratitude and improved mental health, indicating that regularly expressing thankfulness can lead to reduced depression, anxiety, and increased life satisfaction. Whoa. Okay. Here we go. In 2003, two psychologists, Dr. Robert Emmons and Dr. Michael McLeod, found that using a gratitude journal led to better sleep habits and reduced symptoms of physical pain. Now, a few years later, in 2008, a study showed that subjects expressing gratitude were studied under an fMRI machine that found that they were influencing their hypothalamus in real time. Okay, what? So the hypothalamus is the small but powerful part of your brain that directly influences sleep, eating, and stress. So our gratitude practices stimulate the part of the brain associated with the neurotransmitter dopamine. So dopamine, of course, happiness, that do it again chemical. We're all addicted to feeling that dopamine. That is responsible for creating new learning pathways. Okay. Gratitude is changing our brain chemistry, which is wild, but amazing at the same time. And I just want you to understand like how important it is to practice this gratitude in order to feel more happy and more fulfilled and lead to more success in your life and potentially in your business too. And I know that practicing gratitude has helped me. So I wanted to share with you some of my tips and tricks for practicing gratitude. Now, of course, take this for what it is. It's my practice. It's not perfect. It definitely, I really want to hear from you too. If you have a daily practice that really has helped you grow and evolve and become more happy, please share it with me because I'm always learning and growing myself. So of course, my goal is not for you to do this same thing every single day, or it's really just to inspire and motivate you to find what works best for you because you are uniquely you. And when it comes to giving yourself more grace and practicing more gratitude, you are going to have to decide how you want to do that and what ritual you want to have. I recommend one of my first steps is to create a space. I recommend you do this by setting aside 5 to 10 minutes, where even just a few minutes of your day to center yourself and build this into a daily routine. Okay. Now, I also want you to focus on breath work. I recommend that you start your practice with some breathing. It's creating more silence and more focus on your breath, which is really healing and can really help with this gratitude practice. So, how do you do this? I want you to begin by closing your eyes and taking a few slow, deep breaths. So when you start this gratitude practice, I do recommend you do it in the morning, preferably when you first wake up, to really center yourself and focus on your breathing. And then we'll dive into the actual practice of gratitude itself. But with each inhale, I want you to focus on grounding yourself in the present moment. And with each exhale, I want you to let go of any lingering stress or distractive thoughts, right? Allowing your mind to clear and then creating that openness for the gratitude practice to begin. I have created a safe space in my office. My boyfriend and I live in Denver, Colorado, and we actually have a 3-bedroom house I'm so grateful for. When we moved here in 2020, we were able to secure this 3-bedroom home for really inexpensive rent just because of the market at the time and that no one was really moving around during COVID. And so we are so lucky to have 3 bedrooms in this house that we rent. And so one of them I have designated as my office. So I'm very, very lucky and blessed to have this space. And what I've done in my office is, of course, I have, all my production equipment and my computer, but I have a small corner of my office that I have designated for my meditation space. And for me, what that looks like is I have a small rug. I have a little pillow that I sit on. I have some candles and I have a bunch of trinkets and souvenirs for my travels. Classic woo-woo things like Palo Santos, and I have sage and, different crystals and oracle cards and tarot cards. And for me, I have been celebrating my spirituality alongside of my gratitude practice. It does not have to look like that for you, but I recommend creating a safe space that you can commit to and see daily and just say, okay, this is where I am going to do my gratitude practice because this feels good, right? This place, when I sit here, I'm committing to this. They say on average, it takes 60 days for a human being to start a habit. For me, feels like years. It's a lot longer than 60 days, but on average, they say it's 60 days. Commit to this practice for 60 days. See how long you can do this for and see how you feel after it. In my meditation station, I have my prayer cards from past loved ones from their like celebrations of life. And honestly, seeing their faces each day is also such a huge reminder of the importance of living for the now, and living for them. Particularly, there's a photo and a prayer on the backside. I keep those with me and I keep them in this space. And it's just a beautiful reminder of them, of each of the people who I've loved and lost, but also of what they brought to this world and how I can live and have more gratitude for the life that I have now. So sometimes it is helpful to put really like important things in your space to keep you coming back to and just making it more unique to you as well. Next, I would recommend identifying and writing out your gratitude, right? So there are so many different like gratitude journals and just journals in general. Like, I don't know if you're like me, I am such a like journal slut. Like if I see a journal that I resonate with, I'm like, yes, I'm buying it. Same with books in general. I'm like a physical book person too. My boyfriend Colby is such a Kindle reader, but I just love having books. But one of the journals that I really love is the 5-minute journal. I got this for free at a networking event and it's just so funny. Like, get in those rooms, people, because when you put yourself out there, you never know what items you might receive that'll change your life and what people will transform your life. When I went to this networking event, I got this 5-minute journal. And so I've been using it really frequently since I got it. And I love the journal. You do not need to have this journal. I am going to put it in the show notes if you want to take a look. But I'm going to tell you what the prompts are so that you can just use them on even just a blank piece of paper for yourself. So each day it starts with an inspiring quote and prompts like it says, I am grateful for, and then there are 3 lines that you fill in. So when you're writing this, what are some things that you could be grateful for? These could be big or small. It could be a meal you had, a supportive friend, a lesson learned, a challenge you overcame, or it could be just simply the roof over your head, the healthy body that you have, the relationships that you celebrate. I want you to write those down and say how much you're grateful for them. Now you can write them down or say that out loud. The next prompt is what would make today great? So this again has three little places for you to write things out. So what would make today great? So each day, ask yourself this question. It might be completing your to-do list or going to the gym or eating a healthy lunch. Like whatever that looks like, how are you going to celebrate the day and how would it make, what would make today great? And then there's also a space for a daily affirmation and reflection in the evening. So it is important to, say these things out loud, to affirm them. Affirmations are a great way to do this. And I'm actually going to give you 2 affirmations today as well. But really reflecting on your day in the evening so you can see like, okay, how did today go? How did I feel today? And what am I grateful for? One of the greatest strengths that we possess as humans is our ability to focus our minds on whatever we choose. We are in control, right? So no matter where you are and what your situation is, your focus can be shifted to something positive. Now, of course, if you're going through a challenging season or situation, this is really hard to do. But the more that we practice and the more that we're able to refocus our minds on the positive, it's like going to the gym, right? When you work those muscles, like literally a gratitude practice is just practicing those positive muscles and growing them to be strong and fit and looking amazing, right? So definitely recommend identifying and writing these things down. It's important to recognize the simple things that are our biggest blessings. Once we take ourselves out of this comparison game, like what do you already have that so many other people in this planet, in this world don't have that you can be grateful for? Like this could literally just be running water or a safe space to sleep. And I want to just remind you of this perspective. So I'm going to leave you with a few sentences to reflect on. Now, you might not have some of these, so I don't mean to generalize for everyone, but it's just something to think about. Someone is going to bed hungry tonight while you have food to eat. Someone doesn't have a car while you have reliable transportation. Someone is searching for work while you complain about your job. Someone wishes for close friends while you have people that care about you. Someone doesn't have a safe place to sleep while you have a roof over your head. Someone is struggling with health issues while you have the strength to take on each day. Someone doesn't have a family to lean on while you're surrounded by loved ones. Shifting our focus to these powerful blessings help us appreciate what we have and see our lives with fresh eyes. Another thing that's helped me is to create a playlist, right? Music is so grounding. And when you really kind of set the tone for your day, it can help enhance our mindfulness. And I'm actually going to connect my meditation and gratitude practice Spotify playlist. I'll put that in the show notes for you guys as well. I do have a few guided meditations on there that I love and highly recommend. And if you have some, definitely share them with me because I would love to hear. Practicing this visualization, right? So visualizing your day with this gratitude. So after you've written this stuff down, maybe you've listened to a meditation or you've done some breath work. How can you take what you're grateful for and then visualize your day with that gratitude? How can you respond to life with that gratitude in your heart? And the more that you do this, I swear, the more that your gratitude just seeps into every aspect of your life and really can change and transform how you see the world. Now, affirmations, there are so many, but I want to leave you today with 2 that have helped me. Now, I look at affirmations as just powerful reminders, right? So I highly recommend writing these down or creating some of your own, putting them in a Post-it note, like on your mirror or your bedside table, like somewhere where you'll see it every day, even if you're like brushing your teeth, and just reading these affirmations and reminding yourself. So here are 2 in the spirit of gratitude that I want to leave you with today. I am grateful for everything I have and for the beauty of life. I am grateful for everything I have and for the beauty of life. I embrace today with gratitude and with open arms. I embrace today with gratitude and with open arms. There are so many ways that you can tap into gratitude right now. And I want to leave you also with a challenge. Okay, so don't come at me. It's like truth or dare, but I'm choosing dare for you. I am going to challenge you to take this practice one step further and ask you specifically to reach out to someone who has made a positive impact in your life. Now, send them a text, or pick up the phone and call them, shoot them an email or a note, and just let them know how much you love and appreciate them. And maybe that person is someone who you borrowed their belief and then created a belief for yourself. Just reach out to them. That small act spreads gratitude and strengthens your connection to them. And let me know how it goes. The reason I'm doing this podcast is for connection and to hear your thoughts and to see if you resonated with what I have to say. So I love, love, love to hear from you. So please let me know if any of this resonated with you. And thank you so much for listening. Just know I see you, I believe in you, and I am so grateful for you. I'll see you on the next episode. Much love. Thank you so much for listening. Your support means everything to me. If you found this episode inspiring, please share it on your social media and tag me. I'd love to thank you personally. And as always, sending you love and rooting for you. See you in the next episode.